Peace, y'all. Your girl, Mama Mala here. Mala Esoteric. Okay? Live in the flesh and the spirit. Okay? And just getting in from the pool with the baby. And this week has been an insightful week. However, just a lot going on. And like I tell my close family members and close ones, I'm present in the flesh, but I'm in a lot of different dimensions. All while it looks like we're having and holding a conversation. You know, there's a lot that goes on beyond the flesh when you are of the Most High, when you are doing the work, when you are all that you are. Okay? However, I just wanted to drop this download, and this will be uploaded on the Richuall. I might keep it on YouTube or Instagram, but this is, intentional for the Richuall podcast. So, welcome to the Richuall. This episode is called Demons Like 'em Young. Demons like 'em young. They love 'em young, okay? Alright. Yeah. We're going there. We're going deeper. We're gonna keep getting deeper. Right? So, demons like 'em young. Because the more young, the more fun. Don't nobody want to, when children and people play on video games, when they select the player and the skin and the avatar, like Doja Cat love to say, like Fortnite, I'm gonna need your skin. Okay, when they choose, they're intentional about what vessels they pick. Okay, who has the best optimal skin and flesh and vessel to use and optimize. And why would they use an old woman or old man's body that's deteriorating, who has all these problems and things that, they want to use something that they can work and have fun, especially, when you think about, sex and things and just different things. They want the most optimal vessels and suits and flesh. So yes, the demons like them young, right? You see, demons are just the devil's mini-me's. You had to think about, like, I know there's movies where, like Little Nicky, right? When they have like the illustration of one of the brothers and the demons breaking down into a whole bunch of spiders, right? You had to think about the devil breaking himself down into a bunch of multiple little atoms that go off and, just multiplying itself, literally, and going off into the world, right? So demons are simply the devil's little clones and mini-me's, and they all are one mind, right? That's just coming to me. Demons have no motion. It's funny. Demons literally have no motion without a host. That's why you have to be mindful of who and what you entertain and who and what you allow to entertain you. Okay? Because we got to be mindful of what we pay attention to. It's an exchange of energy. That's what payment is. If you're paying attention to these things, your eyes, they say, are portals, right? Okay? There's so many ways that we can open up opportunity and invite certain energies into our lives and our vessels just by consumption. What we eat is not only what we put in our mouths, it's also what we put in our ears, what we breathe in, okay, what we look at, what we listen to, what we allow within our bodies through sexual intercourse. That is a portal, okay, through our yonis and our phalluses. So again, demons have no motion unless you are open. Butlers, demons got no motion unless your vessel is open. Demons got no motion unless your vessel is open. I said demons have no motion. Demons got no motion. Okay, moving forward. But when the devil was casted out of heaven, he did not go to hell. Just because you got kicked out of heaven doesn't mean you got to go to hell. You know, like we like to tell people to go there. Devil didn't go there, okay? He stopped on a beautiful, prosperous planet that favored it, okay? An abundant place that favored it. You know, shit, who knows? I might have to do my research. He may have even created this place in space, okay? Who knows? I have to go to the book and research, okay? Still a lot of learning to do, you know? Maybe this is where we come to not only get things right, but to pick a side. Who knows? Anyways, what I received for certain is that Earth is the battlefield. Earth is the battlefield. It's the battlefield. Earth is the battlefield. When we say spiritual warfare, where do you think the war is happening at? Where do we think the war is? It's here. Earth is the battlefield. And it's a spiritual warfare. And in order for spirit to move and do and fight this war, and you got to pick a side, one, then also you got to be properly educated and armed, right? You got to be properly trained. You got to know what the fuck you're here for. While everyone's out here thinking that we doing this for us and having fun doing this, you got to pay attention. Like, you got to really think about it. Earth is a mission. If you pay attention and listen, Earth is a mission. Okay? So, why the devil likes them young? The devil likes them young because that allows him to have the most fun. If he can use you in your vessel, the earlier, the better. Alright? I wrote these downloads because I was just, you know, doing what I do and being what I be, right? And seeing how I see. And being that I'm a mother, I have to be mindful of these things. I was thinking about why my mother was so quick. It was like a ritual for my family to make sure that they're baptizing, anointing, and giving the children back to God, giving them back to Christ, doing all these things. And though we are typically the generation who fucked around and found out and left, right? Because no one was able to translate and make sense of why we were doing these things. And naturally, as children, we're going to be like, if you're not teaching and translating us, we're going to be like, this is pointless. Like, it's not making sense. I shouldn't have to follow these quote unquote rituals and what do you call it? You know, these acts and these things without knowing why I'm doing it. And I don't see any devils. I don't see anything. And, you know, this is not making sense. So because it's not making sense, I'm going to do what I want. We're here There's apple trees outside. It's nice out here. I have friends to play with in the sandbox. You're tripping. And we went and we said, we're going to do without that cultish thing, right? Because that's what the enemy wanted. However, it was only granted because it was necessary for us to go out and find out and see for ourselves. And that way we can come back and everything would make sense. Everything will make sense. If you are willing to be honest. And that's why the Most High allowed repentance. Everything was written and beautifully, constructed. And, I was just thinking about how important it is to give my children back to God and pray over them and teach them and translate and show them and not hide this information from them and let them know what this place and space is, right? It was just like, why do we see it in this world that the children are truly the ones under attack? There's so many things and reasons why the enemy chooses the young, not only because they can have have more fun, but also because if they can just manipulate and destroy and cause harm to that child and cause trauma to that child, the earlier the better, because then they can use them for to join their army. It's a tactic, because hurt people, right? So if they can hurt and harm these children, then that's initiation. It's initiation. So they're not only using these children for, all kind of demonic acts, but they're harming them to initiate them, because how else would they turn from God without being harmed? That's why it's important to protect the children and protect their minds, what they see, what they consume, what they eat, all these things, right? Because what we see is the rise and the epidemic and pandemic of demonic takeover, right? I won't say takeover because it can never do that. However, or be that. But we see a rise in it when we see all that is happening on this plane right now. Just the rise and the shift of things, right? Everything but God is trending. Everything but God is trending and allowed and held and put into pedestals. And we have to remember what that means, what that does, and the consequences that come with that. Because it's all fucking fun and games until some shit and some people get flushed and washed away like that. We're already seeing the weather and things shift. We're already seeing the wars and the alignment of things prophesied, not only prophesied, shown to us, in movies, if you pay attention. I remember this cartoon movie in the beginning. It was like for Moses, and there were people running up in the houses killing a certain race of people, and the mother put Moses and ran and saved him and put him in a river, right? These wars across the world are not new. These acts are not new. These things are not new. And these demons are not new. So much, so many things I could say. However, the devil and these demons like them young, right? And we see a rise in the narcissist and the narcissistic personality disorder, and it's predominantly a lot of men that we see it in. the entity in them, right? And it's because, and you see it in a lot of people, not only men, but it's a rise of it when we see it in men in relationships and things like that. And it's because those men dealt with traumatic childhoods, neglect, even if it was down to emotional neglect. Didn't have to be physical, just emotional. And we can do the blame game, or we can just be honest about what is, not how it got there, but how we can fix it. Solutions, right? I was talking to my sister. She was like, it's easy for you to fight demons and things like that, but how does one, do that? And how come when people are fighting demons, it's like the person that is possessed doesn't even know. Do they even know? And I'm like, some don't, but some do. However, that demon inside of them has protected them for so long, has been there for them, stood up for them since a child, while they were being ignored and neglected. Sometimes parents were simply just too busy working hard in survival mode to pay attention to these children. It wasn't, all the time intentional. Sometimes they were dealing with so much trauma from their childhood, they couldn't mentally be present in their children, right? But that's why the shift is now. The mind is how a lot of people are subject for possession. The mind has always been under attack, intentionally under attack, because if he and thee can just have your mind, it's going to have a hell of a time. That's why it's like you have to be mindful of what you consume, because that's where the first start is. Your mind is what tells you to pick up things, right? It's the motherboard or whatever. It's like it is, right? So we have to be mindful of what we consume, mindful of our what we allow, who we allow in our mind, even down to the touch. I could talk so much about this, about protecting your energy, protecting your mind. There's so many people that cipher energy down to just wanting to touch and do your hair, just so many things. I'll get into that in another episode. However, the narcissistic personality disorder starts with children. It starts with childhood. A lot of times it starts with in your childhood, trauma or neglect, or parents only choosing to pay attention to the child when they do something super great that will give them, satisfaction to brag about. And so the children don't feel needed or have any understanding of their existence past pleasing people. And that's how you create the people pleaser. And if you're a people pleaser, then it's easier to become subject to possession and just all these things, spiritual attacks. So children are the future, and children need to be protected. Children are the easiest prey for demon possession. So that's why it's important to not only protect the children, but protect your inner child, nourish your inner child, be mindful and heal your inner child. It just goes deep. That way you're not trauma bonding or aligning with someone who has, will teach you a lesson that you don't really want to be taught due to the lack of your inner child or childhood trauma, things that you haven't mended, worked on. Unfortunately, a lot of us are the generation to have to do this work. and we didn't have insight, foresight, guidance, wisdom, to do that. That's why you have people just all over the place that would just want to just be spiritual. What does that mean? This is the land of spiritual warfare. What are you? Whose side are you on? You could say you on the light side, but you really just walk in darkness. See what I'm saying? So it's like you could say, but what are you? And the seers can see. It goes deep. It goes deep. But like I said, demons like them young. They love them young. Especially energy vampires and ciphers. When you see a person that's always surrounded by younger people, and you know what I'm saying, it's okay to have a few younger sisters and brothers and friends, but when it's like you are you're never around people your age and you're an elder, someone should look into that. Someone should look into that. You know what I'm saying? And that someone is you. You should be looking into why you and your crew ain't in alignment down to down to the age. What is it that you're ciphering possibly from these people? And a lot of young people need to be wise about that as well too. You know what I'm saying? Because the young people are truly the elders. Demons like them young. So it's very, very important for us to teach the young, protect the young, down to ourselves. So I'm getting back into the word and the book and learning, and it's so beautiful because I'm learning so much about spiritual warfare and just all these things through church. I'm back in the church and I just love it. I love it. And I'm not saying that every church is going to be lit like this, because the alignment, the divine alignment that I have, I can't say others will. You know what I'm saying? There's narcissistic, demonic people in other churches. So I will say that in my subscription on Instagram, my not close friends, but for my group of my subscribers on Instagram, I will be sharing my Bible study and stuff like that with those intimate people, and giving them the fruits and the nutrients that I'm learning on Bible study. I'll be sharing that with y'all. So if you aren't a subscriber on Instagram, I highly suggest tapping in, because I'll be sharing so much more there. But just keeping it exclusive and being mindful of who I allow into those sacred circles and spaces, because it's a lot of people hiding behind spirituality and sisterhood, brotherhood, all these people wearing a mask that are really not on the same side. Okay, they're trying to, what is it called? Infiltrate? I don't know the word. But they're trying to get in to study and size you up to destroy. Okay? I made a post about projectors, and of course a demon behind a fake page gonna say I'm throwing shade and I'm a HD projector. However, I don't even know where you came from. You on a fake page telling me about me. You can't even show your face. That's what I said. Demons ain't got no motion. They ain't got no motion. They can't even show their goddamn face. Another thing is, outside of them needing a host, you know what I'm saying? They need a host to have motion. They need a host to have motion, but also they're here, right? They're here waiting on and looking on someone to jump into, looking for someone to cipher, looking for someone to harm. right? Because that's they're damned for eternity, right? And here you are with the promise of the promised land, right? The joy within you, the light within you. You're here with intention, with a gift, with a purpose, with light, with love, okay, with anointing, with the protection, with the guide, with the guidance, with just with all this, the good, right? And you're here for a good time, right? And even though this is the battlefield, you slay effortlessly, right? Look at you, right? And so we got to know who and what we are. So we're not ignorant and allowing certain energies and people into that sacred space. So we got to be discerned so we don't align with Judas, you know, and have all these Judas in our cipher. Not only Judas, Jezebel spirits, just different spirits that are little mini-me's of Satan. And my baby's up. So we're going to leave it here. This is just the beginning. Okay, I'm going to get her together. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you remember to stay prayed up, stay protected, and love on and protect and pray over these babies. Peace.